Hi, this is Am here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zacks Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 8th of May. Starting off with the FTSE 100 as usual, and we've got a resistance line there towards 86.10, so we need to break that after snapping our 16-day consecutive win record that we had from the at the end of last month. Current situation is through 86.10, looking for the main resistance, the main recent resistance, March resistance towards 87.50. West on the downside still expected to be, or hoped to be, 8,500. Moving on to the DAX, and here the market in a strange place in the sense that after all the tariff excitement, we're now back near the highs, top of the channel there from March last year, as high as 24,300. Could be a target for the end of this month. And we're looking for that while we're above the top of the latest gap, 22,700. Next up is the situation at the Dow, with the market here getting stuck behind or below that February resistance line and the 50-day moving average around 41,300. Below that, there's a risk of the November support line projection there to 40,200, but we're hoping that with the RSI above neutral 50 at 54, we'll stay on the right side of 40,000. Best case is a push towards 42,200 sometime later this month. Moving along to Bitcoin, and it's within spitting distance of the 100,000 level we were looking for 120,000 by the end of this month, but I pushed it out to next month, the end of next month, on the basis that we were dithering, but it looks like the dithering has stopped here, and at least while we're above the 93,000 recent support, looking for 100,000 obviously imminently, and then 120,000 perhaps now as soon as the end of this month, which is the top of that rising trend channel from March last year. Moving along to gold, and here I think most people thinking that gold was a profit take, and they may be right, but obviously we have geopolitical issues at the moment. The previous call here was 3,800 by the end of this month, maybe with the dithering that we had here as well. That could be the end of next month, but still we're within a rising trend channel, which is heading towards 3,800, and that is a big deal. The upside value, while we hold above recent support around 3,200, ideally we stay above 3,280, which is the floor of the channel at the moment. Moving on to the stocks, and not too many today actually, but a few newer names as well. But big technologies, the first one, I think there have been board changes, etc., but we managed to puncture the 50-day line to 83 pence, above that, looking for the top of the channel, and the channel from March, that is, and the 200-day line at around £1.14. And for that to happen maybe by the end of next month. Nice bounce for the RSI on neutral 50, and the key reversal to the upside today. On to one of the recent favourites, which is Crism. And here, the chart not helping very much, but suspicions that the shares were ready for a retest of the best levels so far appear to be right. So the last peak around 28 pence. Top of the resistance line projection target there for November, pointing at 34 pence. And we're looking for that by the end of next month, or even sooner. The other point to note here, and the reason why we're relatively optimistic, is that the 50 and 200-day lines are rising, heading for a golden cross maybe over the next couple of weeks. Upside value while we're above the 15 pence zone. Next up is a stock which has obviously been through the wars and continues perhaps to be through the wars, but does look as though Serata is having a go at recovery. The only thing missing here at the moment is really the way that we've got the 50-day line still falling. When that starts rising, which it should do in a day or two, the target here would be 28 pence by the end of this month. Ideally, we stay above that 50-day line at 19 for the duration. Ecobuilding's looking interesting at the moment as well. Perhaps the prospect of the company actually building something is a reason for a recovery here. But we're back above the old February support around 5 pence and the 50-day line around 5 pence, and that's rising too. So initial minimum target here towards 8 pence, and that could happen by the end of this month. First look in years for GB Group, and here rising trend channel base. We've broken through the 50-day line. Gap closed by signal, and bear trap rebound as well. The target here up to £3.35 by the end of next month, while we hold above recent resistance around £2.70. GreenRoc is next, and here it's been a decent ride. We've got the shares bouncing off the old target there, around 2.4 pence above that. Looking for the stock to at least get to 3.5 pence by the end of this month. Ultimately, obviously, the target towards 5 pence, but let's go for that 3.5 while we're above 2.4. ITM is next, and here shares have gapped up again after a gap through the 50-day line. We've basically approached the 35.84 top of falling trend channel target. Above that, looking for £45 for the shares, hopefully by the end of next month. On to Mosman, which is still feeling the glory of the recent Zacks Traders Cafe interview. I think that was around the 0.42, 0.43 level. Now we're obviously knocking on the door of 0.6. The target here now already looking for 0.08 by the end of next month, or hopefully much sooner than that while we're above 0.55 zone. One of the best stocks of the year so far has been MetalsOne, and here you can see that we are now trading above the initial, well, we've had many targets, but the recent target there around 33 pence, above 33 pence, looking for 40 pence, which is a line of resistance there, for a resistance line projection from back in October 2023. But looks as though we could actually get even more than 40 pence while we're above the low 30s, let's say yesterday's resistance around 31 pence. And just looking at the performance so far, you can see it's been 7x so far this year after not doing so well in 24 and 23. On to the last two. First one I'm taking great pleasure in looking at because it's doing well, and doing well despite one or two naysayers. Here you can see that we've managed to hold at the resistance, 16 pence resistance there from the start of the week, and basically above 16, looking for 32 pence, the alleged top of a rising trend channel. At least it looks as though it could be the top of the channel there, and looking for that hopefully by the end of this month. So above 16, looking quite logically for 32 pence. Bit of smart money apparently going into Tiger royalties, and you can see it's already having its effect. We already pointed out the broadening triangle here, and already pointed out that above recent support at 0.08, we were looking for 0.2 pence, and we're looking for that by the end of this month. What would be nice today is if we can stay above 0.1 pence, which was recent resistance for the shares. We can see a strong candle so far, opening at the low, and so far at the high of the day. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.